What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the top ways to get better mixes every single time. So let's jump right into this. Okay, so the first thing I want to draw your attention to is this Sonarworks Reference. So this is like a little app that you can download on your computer. You do have to pay for it, and what it does is it takes your speakers or the headphones that you may be using, and it flattens out the curve for them so that you're hearing the flat line. You're hearing exactly what you want to hear when you're making the beat. You're not hearing any boosted lows or any boosted highs or anything like that. You're getting the pure sound of what it should be so that you can get the best mix possible. So as you can see right here, I have it set up with my headphones here. And this is the regular curve on the headphones. So as you can see, it's boosted in the highs, it's boosted a little bit in the lows, it's taken out some of the mids and different things like that. And what's crazy is when I bought these headphones, they claim that they're flatline already, which obviously they're not. So what's cool about this little app here is it has almost all the different headphones that you're gonna find out there, and it has the frequency curves that represent them, and it does an algorithm to flatten it out for you automatically. So all I have to do is literally turn this on, and now my headphones are flat lined. So it goes from that to this just by clicking a button. So now I'm getting an even cleaner and better mix. You can use this for studio monitors as well, but you need to have a special kind of a mic to be able to measure the distance between them and any of the sounds that may be interrupting so that you can get a clean signal. This can be a lot harder of a process, so I recommend it for headphones. If you're using studio monitors, I would recommend that you just get your room treated and things like that. So that brings us into headphones versus speakers. I always use headphones when I'm mixing my beats because my room is not treated at all. I can't afford that, and I don't need it because I can get the same effect out of the headphones using the Sonar Reference app. So if you have speakers, you may be getting some weird frequencies because of how your room is designed. The corners are going to trap some of the bassy notes, and there's going to be weird frequency clashes and different things like that that are specific to every different room. So if you don't have a treated room or anything like that, then you're probably better off just mixing in headphones. Otherwise, if you're going to go ahead and use speakers, I would suggest doing a little bit of some treatment in your room. Maybe try to block off some of the corners and look into that on YouTube because there's a lot that really goes into it. But all in all, you don't have to treat your room if you're using speakers. Just know that there is going to be some weird overlays and frequencies are going to be clashing with each other that you might not be able to hear right. Okay, so the next tip is when you first start off learning how to mix, it can be really useful to mix down in mono. When you mix in mono, it puts everything on top of each other, right? There is no stereo anymore. It makes it one signal instead of widening signals and everything to the left and everything to the right. It puts everything on top of each other. So when you're mixing in mono, you're gonna know if something's clashing right away. Since everything's in the same line right down the middle, you're gonna notice if your snare in your 808 happens to be clashing, if you have like lower end in your snare or something crazy like that. So mixing in mono can be super useful, especially when you're first starting off, getting your levels right and getting your mixes down. You can obviously grow out of that once you start doing it over and over again and you know what to listen for. But this can always be useful when you're mixing down and even mastering your beats. So the next thing we're going to talk about is A-Bing different tracks. So a really useful method, and things that I even do to this day, is finding some of your favorite beats or finding a beat that is similar to the beat that you're making and go ahead and download it from YouTube or rip it somehow, however you got to do it, and then actually pulling it into your project and then A-Bing it with your track. So turning it on, listening to it, listening to the different levels and how it's mixed, and then turning it off and going back to your mix, and then being able to adjust things like that to try to get it similar. Once you start doing this a bunch of times, you're going to get your leveling down. You're going to know what levels are supposed to be at. You're going to be able to know what sounds good in these different tracks that you're listening to and why they sound so good as they are. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the most important thing when you are mixing your beats. This is ultimately going to be the deciding factor between if you got a good mix or not. And it's super simple. experience. Experience, experience, experience. If you take all these little tips that we've talked about here and you do them over and over again, and you do this for a while and you get lots of experience doing it, you're gonna naturally just get better at mixing. It really is all about experience in the end. And if you apply these couple tips and practice them and get really good at it, your beats are gonna transform before your eyes before you even know it. All right guys, so this was a really quick tutorial on the best ways to get better at mixing your beats. So if you guys like this one, smash that like button for me. Also hit the subscribe button if you're new, because we're uploading daily videos that you're not gonna wanna miss out on. But besides that, I'll be catching you sexy motherfuckers in the next one. Peace out.